welcome to this week's edition of the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, and I'm joined once again this week by Jedi Jason Kruger.
Hola.
We have some fallout that I don't care about. We're going to talk about it anyway here on the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. If you've never seen this show before, Jedi and myself been watching wrestling together for years. Like almost 13, 14 years at this point. We love wrestling, love talking about wrestling, we love discussing wrestling with you fans, and we encourage discussion, leaving your opinions in the comments section below. However, we're not insiders. We try to avoid insider terms. We do slip up because they just kind of have been embedded in our lexicon. But we're not insiders. We're just fans. At the end of the day, our opinions mean just about as much as yours, because we're no better than anybody. At the end of the day, we are just two marks. So hope you guys enjoy this show. Let's start with Raw Thoughts. Alrighty, it is time for Raw Thoughts, aka the part of the wrestling week that is the hardest for me to get through, unfortunately. And I want to just point out, after a bad statement like this, I want to point out some things that I did enjoy about the show. Thought Chad Gable and Victor had a decent little match. Short, sweet, but I thought they both did a decent little job. I thought that Drew McIntyre and Dean Ambrose had a good match. So before anybody comes with me with some pitchforks going, "You hate Raw," I'm like, I want to recognize what I did like about the show before getting into everything that I'm completely indifferent about with this show. It's just, it's like, it's my third week in a row. I'm just like, what do you talk about? What do you talk about that, we could talk about Lesnar, but I don't care about Lesnar, so maybe I'll throw to you. Do you have a... He's back. Do you have opinions on Lesnar? Can we entertain the people with some kind of opinion this week? Other than,
If absent makes the heart grow fonder, then, not enough absence.
There wasn't enough.
Although it was surprising, because I assumed he was gone.
Yes.
But, not enough absence, so... I will say, if they're planning on doing the triple threat with Lesnar, Strowman, and Reigns at the next Saudi Arabia show or whatever, well, those people are getting their money's worth, at least with the main event over there.
It's just...
that was the match I wanted to see back at SummerSlam. So... But other
I don't
than
care.
that,
I really don't care. I guess, maybe...
Well, it's hard
maybe Strowman isn't completely villainous now because, fucking Lesnar, not going to be a hero, but,
Like Loki is a villain until Thanos shows up.
Right.
The more villainous villain.
Yeah. It's just...
Yeah, but...
There's just so much not...
Strowman was not... I don't know.
I said, I hate being that guy, but it's just like,
Fun aside,
I don't care.
How Owens just came right back and was, helping Strowman beat down the Shield?
Yeah.
Well, the Mixed Match Challenge started this week, and the first match was Strowman and Ember Moon versus Natalya and Kevin Owens. And
Team
the first
Canada.
thing he did was yell at him, last week I helped you beat down the Shield, and you haven't beat down the Shield since, because I helped you. So, he addressed, at least, the weird fact that he helped after, I don't know. It was nice that...
Seems like Mixed Match
Kevin
Challenge
Owens
is a
is
little more canon this year than it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a whole lot. I haven't seen it yet.
It's fun. Don't expect anything earth-shattering, but it's
fun. Yeah, exactly.
It's
and wrestling is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of, it's been several weeks since All In. The hangover should be over. Is it just a matter of now at this point? Is the show just bad? Because that's how I'm thinking it is. I think the show is just bad.
Raw has a giant pool of talent and seems to not to know what to do with it and focus on the same 5, 7 people every week
You know,
for 3 hours.
And, you know, before anybody says that we're going to be biased because SmackDown is kind of the home of our internet fans.
Sorry.
In our defense, and we'll get to this in the SmackDown portion of the show, SmackDown, yes, they haven't used everybody, right? But
No.
they at least, like, it feels like they make an effort with a few people. I mean, and by a few people I mean almost, but we'll get to that on SmackDown Thoughts. It's just, again, like, I want to have a spirited discussion about this show, and you know, and I'll take the blame here. If I had something to say about Roman Reigns, maybe this segment of the show would have more to it, but I got nothing. I don't care. You know, I watch the show because I do support a lot of the talent that's on the show, but it's just, I don't, you know, the best guy on the roster is not getting used, and that's Finn Balor.
Oh, I forgot he existed until you said that. That's sad.
Well, there's my point.
That's yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think I did that a while back. I kind of went through the roster just one day. I was bored and I went through the roster. I was like, holy moly, there's a lot of people on here.
mm-hmm.
It's a crime. Anywhere else, I mean,
you know, and it's like, you know, from.
Oh, that's who it was. I was watching the Mae Young Classic, and they cut to the crowd like they do. Hey, look, this superstar is here watching. You know, this wrestler's here. I saw Shelton Benjamin, and forgot he was employed with this company.
Oh God!
I realize that's SmackDown, but I don't care. Shelton Benjamin. Do you remember Shelton Benjamin back in like 2004, 2006? And from what I hear, New Japan, he reinvented himself.
Yeah, part of Suzuki Gun.
And he worked for them.
Yeah. But it's just, it's not, it's to the point now where it's like, what, like, just as YouTubers, like, you know, that's where I give all the credit, like, in the world, people that, like, have more to talk about, you know, but it's like, what can we say, you know?
I watched a show that manages to stretch each show for, like, an hour. Recapping it, it's impressive.
Yeah. You know, but, you know, I'm struggling to find something to talk about. You know, I do enjoy, you know, kind of that they're still kind of continuing at least the Rollins-Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. You know, I enjoy that part of the show. I'm happy that 4 talented guys are at least doing something.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, you also have a guy like Finn Balor doing nothing.
On the flip side, you have like 20 minutes devoted to this Australian show where Undertaker and Triple H are talking about their battle of the ancient mummies. And this is coming from a giant Taker fan.
Yeah.
So
I love the Undertaker.
Yeah.
See, and it's not even so much just like the Taker's bad. It's like, it's Triple H again.
Well,
you know, 3 WrestleManias, and we're still with Triple H and Undertaker. Yeah. Shawn Michaels might come out of retirement. You know, some people are saying he is, some people are saying he's to be a part of a tag match with the Undertaker. Now, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestling match of all time. But you know,
top 10.
We're not going to go, hey Shawn, you want to come out of retirement and wrestle AJ? What about Bryan? What about Almas? What about Finn? What about Seth? What about Dean? What about Dolph? He might have wrestled. Actually, Spirit Squad, he did kind of half-ass wrestle. Yeah. But not,
Fun fact,
you know.
In case you didn't know.
In case you didn't. But, like, you know, again, I'm not going to bring the hammer out because I want your niece to be okay. Beat the dead horse, but it's like, what is there? You know, I mean, it's Raw is not. I hate to make a like I could say this and then like the next week they might surprise me. I don't expect it, but they could. Raw isn't a wrestling show for people that like wrestling.
I think right after the draft, so many good names went to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my little joke was, well, at least you can watch Braun Strowman flip something over or pull something down, but now that he's playing more of the villain role, we're not getting those fun little segments anymore. So, yeah.
And that's not, but that statement isn't a slight on the talent, and that isn't to say that there isn't good wrestling there. I mean, like, Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler, and you got Dean Ambrose, and you have Finn Balor, but the way the show is presented, with the way the storylines go on the show, it's not a show for wrestling fans. It is a show for people. It is the embodiment of sports entertainment. It is what you watch if you want to see somebody do something funny, or you want to see Brock Lesnar, or you want to see somebody get their ass whipped, and you see a short little match, and that is it. Mm-hmm. That is all Raw is, and before everybody comes in, you're like, well, that's what draws money, and, you and your little internet nerds can just shut the fuck up while Vince McMahon laughs all the way back. Cool! I mean, I don't blame him. That's what makes him money. Go for it, Fuck me. If fuck me means he's going to the bank, which is what he's been doing for us, go for it. But you can't get pissed off when people, maybe not to the $1 billion extent, go to other wrestling and go like, no, we prefer this shit because it's actually what they're looking for.
One of the reasons All In worked.
Mm-hmm. All In, New Japan.
Yeah, this Madison Square Garden thing that Ring of Honor.
The scene in the UK right now, the independent scene, all of it.
The UK scene's gotten so strong, Triple H made an NXT UK brand to combat the...
Triple H wants to make wrestling for people like us, and it's like, man,
that's why everybody like us likes NXT.
Yeah,
he understands.
I mean, like, and I apologize if somebody on here wanted some deep thoughts on Raw. I mean, you're not getting them. I mean, I don't care about Brock Lesnar coming back. I was shocked, but it's kind of like, you know what? Even taking off the fact that I dislike Lesnar, that I dislike Roman Reigns. Let's push that aside and let me just put, having to work with those tools and how I could maybe like it. How about Brock Lesnar doesn't come back until like maybe the Royal Rumble?
Mm-hmm.
Or Survivor Series.
Be too close to his Royal Rumble might be too close to his actual fight.
It might be. Or
Survivor Series wouldn't be though.
Yeah, Survivor Series.
It's
oh shit, Roman Reigns won.
Thing. He's gonna get paid for the Saudi Arabia thing. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's all about that money again.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? And it is a business. You know, you are. Like I've even told this to like other fans that like more of the same stuff that I like. And they're like, I'm angry that WWE's signing up all these independent guys, and they're just going to ruin when they get to the main roster, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm disappointed too, but I mean, the wrestlers themselves are, not everybody can be, and even Kenny Omega's a question mark, not everybody can be Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks, where they're either going to make a bunch of money, or I get more satisfaction from the art than the money.
Right.
At the end of the day, a lot of these guys are going to think, this is my chance to make a lot of money before my body quits on me.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I get that money fuels everything. It's not about the art and the love. It is in some cases, but it's at the end of the day, it is a business. And Raw is the A show. Raw, when you talk to a non-wrestling fan, somebody like Monday Night Raw.
It's been around for forever.
Like I get that Monday Night Raw, you could say, is bigger than professional wrestling at this point. At least the brand name,
yeah.
But. Just as two people that want to bring, that want to bring a discussion, it's like, well, what do you discuss? Brock Lesnar's come back from Saudi Arabia. Once again, there's nothing new to talk about.
They're trying to do something with Chad Gable.
I mean, Brock Lesnar's back. We weren't talking about Brock Lesnar a month ago going into that match because I'm like, who cares? you know? And now he's back, and I was like, well, good on him for keeping a secret. I mean, give him where credit's due. They kept a fucking secret. This was not leaked to the internet, and nobody saw that coming. And if you saw it coming, or you say you saw it coming, you're full of shit. But if I wasn't excited about it 2 months ago, why would they think I'd be more excited about it now?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know.
He's not going to win. If he does, it'd be even worse.
But you know who's probably not going to watch it? Like, at least live? I'm not. Because, I mean... And I don't want to... And I'm not trying to be New Japan hipster wrestling douche. I just... You know... I don't have time to watch something that... in depth that interests me.
On a Friday afternoon.
Yeah. No, I barely have the time to do that, like watch something like the Mae Young Classic, or I'm behind on Lucha Underground. I can't keep up with Impact, and like I want to watch all those things more than Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, you know, with Braun Strowman, who I do like, added to the mix. Like that, those 3 previous things mentioned.
Yeah.
Have more interest to me than like among work and a life and, you know, the other things I do for this page.
Right.
What?
Yeah, clarify, the only reason I even kind of know what's going on Raw and SmackDown is because of YouTube. During lunch breaks and commute, I can listen to review shows, and then I can watch some clips on YouTube. And then the Mae Young Classic, that's like my show for the night on Wednesdays right now. Instead of whatever's on Netflix, so
yeah,
that's the only reason I can manage that even. So, but anyway, yeah, that's Raw in a nutshell. I mean, 3-hour show of not a whole lot happening right now. Maybe it'll pick up in a while. We'll see. Anything could happen.
Anything can happen in the WWE. Top SmackDown. It is time for SmackDown thoughts, and this will be a little bit more positive. Again, not a whole hell of a lot to talk about, because, again, as we've said before, the things, when a match is really good, there's not really a whole lot, unless it's just, like, super in-depth, which you don't really get on TV a whole lot, like maybe pay-per-view, and with some of the New Japan matches, you know, you can talk about the intricacies of the story, but if it's just a good match, it's like, hey, good match, go watch it, you know, it's on Hulu, it's on YouTube, go watch that.
Exactly.
Which we'll just go ahead and start with the good match now. Andrade Cien Almas and AJ Styles. Of all the, you know, we mentioned back on the Raw section, at least Almas is maybe gonna get used.
Almost is, it's weird. Like, they're literally, like, all the bigger names he has rubbed shoulders with, basically, been in a match with, but he hasn't had a single, like, actual real storyline.
No.
When he first come in.
It's the Sin Cara one, that's about it.
And, I mean, that was basically relegated to, like, a match on SmackDown and a pre-show match to pay-per-view. But, I mean... Yeah, it's been like no thing, and yet he's had like 2 matches with Styles, a match with Daniel Bryan, match with Rusev. I mean, he's gotten around.
And I mean, it's just at least he's getting around. At least he's not being turned into a loser like Otley did Asuka, which still makes me sad. But
you know, like it kind of makes me think of like the Elias position on Raw. It's like, I am here.
I'm here, and I'm here.
That I'm here.
You won't forget I'm here.
Interacting.
I'm rubbing shoulders with some good people, and
I'm here. If you need me, I'm here, guys.
Yeah. Whether or not that's going to translate into like some more meaningful storylines, that remains to be seen. But I guess I'm breathing somewhat of a sigh of relief that it's not just he's at least he's at least
Authors of Pain,
revival,
or even better for SmackDown. Sanity. Yeah. So
for all that praise,
right.
Then there's Sanity.
Almost doing all right now for an NXT call-up.
Yeah, but they still had a great match. Samoa Joe and AJ, their beef still ain't over. I think it's gonna keep going until just Joe wins the belt. Like,
real quick, Oscar me a question about the saddest part of the women's division on SmackDown.
JC's not on my hosting this week, and you just did that, and
it's sad on multiple levels.
yeah, it is. It's just.
Sorry, I had to remind everybody, just in case I thought we're too positive on SmackDown. Oscar insanity. That's all I'm saying.
And he just had to remind me that JC's influence is still running wild on this channel. But anyway, still, great match. Check it out. Another really good match that also led to some more sadness for me. Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura had a really good match, but unfortunately, much like when the Mega Powers eventually exploded, Rusev Day has finally come to an end.
Although, interestingly enough, English was the one to turn on Rusev. I mean,
I guess now they're just going to embrace, Rusev as a hero.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
After all this time. They
Finally
decided.
Finally.
But it's not the normal blueprint with those things. I feel like usually it's, you've been messing up and cost me the match, and now I'm going to beat you up, kind of thing. And
right.
This was almost the opposite. I've been messing up, and I've decided I don't like you for getting upset with me, so I'm going to beat you up.
I'm intrigued where they go with the storyline at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Could be something good.
Could be.
Could be something just ridiculous.
It could be like one of those one-off things, or they could milk it into something. I mean,
Perhaps.
Especially with Lana and stuff. They could do something interesting, make English into an interesting mid-card villain.
Right.
But, I mean, we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
That's having high hopes, considering, but we'll see.
Daniel Bryan and The Miz, they're still beefing, obviously. I feel like... I still feel like, I'm not going to knock it because at least they're doing stuff, but...
Treading water?
They're just treading water. Like, this could have been the greatest storyline ever.
Mm-hmm.
2 years in the making, you didn't actually think it was going to get a payoff, and it was, and it's like... But it's nothing doing, really. I mean, you just have segments, and they bring their wives in, which is fine, but... you gotta promote them reality shows. You gotta promote Total Divas. You gotta promote, Ms. and Mrs. You got, that's what they do. But it's just, like...
Yeah,
this could be the greatest thing ever. I mean, it's just, it's not awful. But when something has the potential to be the best storyline ever, you're like, huh?
Yeah. When your expectations are set high, standard is, like, not good enough anymore.
Yeah.
Basically.
But
the best way to put it.
It is what it is. But we go from there to my favorite segment in professional wrestling this whole week, the coronation of Becky Lynch as champion with Charlotte coming out. I did have to laugh. If you're a Futurama fan, it was... She almost for like part of it reminded me of Flexo from Futurama, like, I want this. No, I'm just kidding. You don't gotta do that, Mm-hmm. So if the people that watch Futurama maybe could get the correlation there, but I thought Becky's just so fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Charlotte played her role. I'm kind of one of those, I think they need to swap roles. I feel like Charlotte needs to be completely the villain, and then Becky could just be like the hero with an attitude kind of thing, She's her heroine, I guess I should say.
She could be exactly what Roman Reigns wants to be. So
yes. Only she has... It seems like she'd have enough talent to be able to carry that role a lot better than Roman.
Well, I've heard her described as the anti-Roman Reigns because, like, it seems like the company wants you to cheer for Roman Reigns, but nobody does.
But then the company wants you to boo Becky, but nobody's booing Becky. I just really enjoyed this segment. I really enjoyed, just having went with it. I think that you really saw, you've been kind of seeing it, even though it became a meme.
Mm-hmm.
you're seeing how good Becky Lynch is and how much
After
broader of a scope that she had than what they were giving her.
She was like invisible for pretty much all of 2017.
Yeah.
And a good chunk of 2018 up until a couple months ago. So.
But I really like this segment. I really enjoy. Like I said, I'm a Becky Lynch fan, and I'm hoping they don't screw it up. I feel like she's the natural progression is she's going to have to be good, and she just might. It'd be almost like Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's like he's not he didn't change anything about his character. It's just hey, he was an asshole to other assholes.
Mm-hmm.
He was an asshole to Bret Hart and Owen and Vince McMahon and all those people, so it was okay.
I mean, she's not one of those. Like even when she beat Charlotte, she didn't cheat. I mean, to win or anything. There's none of that. There's none of that Miz. Style villain thing going on.
Not at all.
Yeah, there's nothing not to get behind there. Unless you just like hugs.
Yeah.
Bailey.
But I loved.
We skipped over it after Styles had the match with Almas. Joe attacked him to keep that going, but they got fought off this time, which was interesting.
Yeah.
After a match got fought off, but.
You don't really see that happen very often.
No, you don't. Usually it's, you're tired and I beat you up. But it's just like, no, I still have adrenaline. Joe's like, maybe I forgot to stretch. See you later.
But, if he... Yeah, that was... Becky Lynch was... Becky Lynch is my MVP of pro wrestling this week, not counting, the New Japan things that have kind of been going on.
If you haven't watched Hell in a Cell... 3 matches you might watch. I enjoyed AJ Styles versus Joe.
And I want to say MVP, but I also want to give a shout out to Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. They had an amazing Hell in a Cell match as well. And if you've watched this show, I am very, very critical of Randy Orton, but credit given where credit's due. He did a good job in this match, and so did Jeff. So good on that.
Yeah, they understood what a Hell in a Cell match was and did their
the part of the match with the fucking screwdriver, it's like, whoa!
Yeah. Kudos on that.
Yeah,
so that was good.
Just giving some recognition to things that are good, so we're not just completely negative on the show this week.
Tag match was good with, obviously, how could it not be with Ziggler and... help me out here because my brain's blanking. Ziggler and McIntyre versus two-thirds.
We both worked today, so we're tired at real jobs, unfortunately.
And also the obviously Becky Lynch and Charlotte was good. So
yes,
yeah. You skipped the rest.
So Hell in a Cell was a good pay-per-view. It's just the big.
It didn't even have a lot of the weird things at the end of matches that sometimes happen. It was good. The
problem with it is, like, the big holy shit look at that moment was me, For the people in the, like... And the people in the crowd, they cheered for Brock Lesnar and they were excited. Good on them, but, like, me, I just went like, I was like, shock. It wasn't shock and awe, it was shock and then awe. That's what I had.
Yeah.
But that's it for the main roster, and Jedi's gonna give some Mae Young Classic thoughts. So we're gonna throw to Jedi for.
All right, episode 3 of the Mae Young Classic. So, I will say, out of the 3
I'm not even gonna try to hide my ears anymore. Like, I'm just gonna take the spoiler and then.
Spoilers at the end. I'll go through the matches first, then spoilers, just like last time, just in case someone's still. I mean. This is going to become moot like in a couple weeks. So anyway, this was the weakest, I feel, of the 3 so far. Out of the 3 is the least exciting, I guess. But not to say that it's completely skippable either. I was not familiar with Caitlyn when she first came in, but Caitlyn's returning. I think she was like an NXT back when it was basically a contest show.
Yeah.
She was one of the winners or whatever. Apparently won the Divas Championship, I think, which,
The Brad's
more on that.
The Brad's accessory belt.
Yes. Anyway, she fought Kavita Devai, which I don't know if anybody remembers from last year, but is the Indian woman that was trained by the great Kali.
Because I'm sure you can train people really
and
well.
you could tell. So I will say Kavita Devai has improved this year somewhat. In ring, still pretty slow and plodding, but now she's not a robot. She emotes. She has actual expressions on her face.
That's good.
So yeah, she's not solely focused on just doing moves. She still, even my wife watching is like, she needs some work still, doesn't she? And I was like, yes, she does. But she got better. So credit where credit's due.
And to give you just an idea, and I give, these are actual wrestlers, we're not, but Jedi's wife, one time back when we were younger, watched all of us backyard wrestle and actually believed that I hurt JC with what I was able to do in a backyard wrestling ring, and we are nothing, not even wrestlers, and believe that through the act of what I was, the emotion that I had on my face and that JC had on his face, she thought we actually hurt one another, yet, because she's not really a big wrestling fan, yet she watches this and she's like, okay, yeah, that's not as good. So I should just tell you how bad that seems to me.
Yeah,
just
you're not wrong. Yeah, it was a match.
And I'm not. And again, she's a better wrestler than I am because she's a wrestler and I never was. So I will give her credit for actually being a wrestler. So I'm not going to be one of those guys.
I will throw out there, like, unlike last year, still none of these matches were like where I was actually sitting like, wow, this is bad. I mean, this was not a high-level match, but it was okay. It was just, I mean, it was what it was. But last year there were a couple that were actually bad, and still haven't had any of those. So, funnily enough, usually they do the 4 matches. The last match is the most entertaining. Like, they kind of plan this a little bit and think, well, what'll be the best? Not this time. Not in my opinion, anyway. The second match was the best one. Toni Storm returned from last year. She was defeated in the semifinals by Kairi Sane, so it was like one match, basically 2 matches away from winning the whole thing. So the Australian rocker chick, she went really far, so I figured, I knew what she brought to the table already, but there's this other girl, I guess, now they have the NXT UK brand, and I guess she's one of the ones they signed for it, but named Jenny. She's got like a...
from the block? She's had a little, now she has a lot. She knows where she came from.
She's a fashion designer, or fashionista, is what it is. But
don't be fooled by the rocks that she got. I kid. I had to show that I could keep up with the bad jokes as well as everybody else on this show.
Getting jealous. That's all. Man, talk about a skinny, lanky build. Like, she looked like she was gonna get broken half second she got in there, but she has got a lot of talent. I was impressed. Like, they showed a video package before and showed some of the stuff she did. I was like, okay, she's got some high flying, this and that. And then she's got some technical skills. They had a lock up at the beginning and did like this, like, roll takeover thing. It was one of the snuggest things I ever saw. It was just beautiful. So anyway, you need to watch this.
You got me really wanting to check. Yeah, you
watch
got me really,
this one.
Yeah, I really want to check this one out.
I enjoyed it. It was good. I enjoyed it. And then we had Xi Li, who's from, I think they said somewhere in China. I was thinking it was Hong Kong. I'm probably getting her confused with one of the men from the Cruiserweight. But anyway, basically the first woman that they recruited from China. I don't think China has much of a pro wrestling scene. Yeah, that's what I was getting confused with. And so, like, last year at the Mae Young Classic was like her first actual televised match ever, because they just recruited her from China and they don't really have a scene over there for that. So she's basically had a year to get better, and she's better. I wouldn't say she's, like, roster ready, but she's better. And she fought a woman named Karen Q, who's apparently from Chinatown. It was kind of funny to have someone from Chinatown and someone from China and someone from Chinatown, New York. I was like, this is weird. So, it was all right. I mean, it wasn't anything special in my opinion, but it was good. I mean, it was enjoyable. So that's about what I got on that. Xylee was better, but nothing amazing, and Karen Q didn't really wow me. So Mae Young.
Apologize for that.
That's all right. Mae Young fought Allison Kay. Mae Young returned from last year. I think Gail Kim trained her, and I believe she had a lot of Taekwondo influence and stuff. Anyway, she came back basically with the same, not the same stick. It wasn't the, well, what I did last year didn't work, so this year I'm going dark side thing. It was, last year I was nice. This year I'm going to be like street tough badass, I guess. Basically, like I'm going to be more smash mouth and less play to the fans happy, I guess, basically. And then the other girl is basically just a very rough around the edges, tough New Jersey kind of thing going on. And apparently they played up the fact that they've had a big feud on the independent circuit.
Oh, that's cool.
Especially their very first match, Mae Young, I guess, broke Allison Kay's nose. So
NXT Cruiserweight Classic and the Mae Young Classic. We'll acknowledge wrestling outside of the WWE.
So they played that up. The problem was they played it up so much, and these two both sounded like such tough badasses that I was expecting them to go in there and kind of beat the crap out of each other, like really stiff, strong style, and I didn't get that.
Ooh.
I got like basically a very much normal match. I mean, there were some spots where you could tell, oh, they've fought before and they know each other's moves kind of thing near the end, which is cool, but I went in expecting like William Regal versus Chris Benoit that one time, or whatever, and I didn't get it. So, expectation, reality, it didn't do it for me, unfortunately. But it was good. So just don't buy into the hype package too much before the match. You'll probably be all right. So then we'll go ahead and go through the winners, the actual results, real quick. Spoiler alert!
Woo! Spoilers!
So Caitlyn beat Kavita Devai, thank God. I mean, I knew she would. She was the returning after all these years, and Devai is nowhere near ready. Toni Storm, no shot going so far last year, beat Jenny, but it was a good match. Go watch that one. Xylee defeated Karen Q, which, you know, like I said, that was alright. So, I mean, and it kind of makes sense. Karen Q didn't do much, and Xylee's got this whole story being the first Chinese wrestler and stuff, so. And then Mae Young defeated Allison Kay, which also didn't surprise me. She went to like the second round or third round last year, so I knew she'd be winning that. But
hopefully,
anyway, that's
get a break in something, and I'll just binge watch. I said that last week, but I wasn't able to. Maybe this weekend I'll get caught up on everything. Or I can just,
Like I said, the breakout was definitely Toni Storm.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out, just based on... Because I watched Deanna's match.
I was impressed.
Yeah, I watched Deanna Purrazzo's match, and then, I guess I'll check that out. I guess I won't feel quite as, bad of a wrestling YouTuber if I can at least watch a match a week from it. That's
fair.
That's, I got to still do that, so I guess I'm still bad at this point. But, thank you for covering that. I'm sure that it's much appreciated here. Given your thoughts on the Mae Young Classic, sounds like it's pretty good, and I just need there to be more than 24 hours in a day, and I don't need 40 of them devoted to a real job.
Well, this is the beauty of the network. If nothing else, if you're worried about spoilers, just wait till next year, if you have to, for your memory to evaporate. And then I
don't want to wait till next year.
Well, that's fair, but I mean, some people have worse memory than that. This guy.
Yeah.
But so wait a couple months and then just watch the whole tournament and then jump to that match that'll be handily, clicked on the pay-per-view, the Evolution pay-per-view to see the result.
Exactly. If I can marathon it before Evolution, I think I'll be okay. But that is pretty much it for this week. Let me know your thoughts about this week in pro wrestling down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share. If you want to see other videos like this, check out the past videos. Subscribe to the channel if you also want to see more, not just from the world of professional wrestling, but from the world of comic books, gaming, anime, and all things geek culture. Check Jedi does not have social media because he's got kids and he ain't got time for that. If you would like to see more content, please go like my Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. I want to give a shout out to the Regal Twins. Picked up this shirt from them last weekend at a St. Louis Anarchy Pro Wrestling show. I had a really, really good match. And, against the Hooligans, also a great tag team here in the St. Louis area. So, just want to give them a shout out and rock their shirt this week. Great, talented wrestlers and great guys. So, just a quick little shout. But for Jedi Jason Kruger, I'm the Athletic Geek. We are just two marks. We're out. See you next week.